Hello YouTube, it's M1NDxBEND3R here, and in the last few videos I have been showing off the mechs, the vehicles, all sorts of wild stuff that I've built for my Prometheus military. But what I have kind of skimped on showing you, what I've kind of overlooked in my opinion, was the boots on the ground, the infantry, the soldiers, the, salt of the earth men and women who make Prometheus what it is today. So in this video, I thought I would focus less so on, whatever vehicle I've built most recently, and instead show you the individual soldier types for the Prometheus military, basically everything that makes up their infantry. So I've got a couple stuff laid out here in front of you. We're going to go through them one at a time, and I'll tell you about what they are and what they do. Okay, so before you is the stock standard Prometheus Trooper. He's got a equipment pack on his back. So you see he's got his main weapon right there, a sidearm, a pack that would probably include, rations, a survival kit, stuff to help him camp out if he gets stranded, emergency, whatever, just general standard issue stuff. And then along this side you see a big shield, and that's also part of his equipment. It can detach, as any of this stuff can detach. And you can just clip it into his hand. There we go. And he can carry a shield into battle, so that's meant to protect him from, some moderate gunfire. Could definitely deflect anything that was fired from an assault rifle, a pistol, anything like that. Once you get into higher rounds, like, something coming off mech suits, he might be in a bit of trouble, but it's just something to help him stay alive a little longer. Up next is the first variant I came up with. As you can see, she carries the same shield and main weapon as the stock standard trooper. The only difference is she has a long-range rifle on her back. She is a marksman. Basically, every few soldiers in my military are snipers, just in case snipers are needed. And they're not too different from normal troopers. They just carry quite a big gun instead. And speaking of big guns, look at this guy. This is the heavy weapons trooper. He's the opposite, wherein he has the same sidearm as the stock standard trooper, but instead of the main weapon, he's got this. He's got a very heavy-duty, repeating machine gun, kind of the LMG of the future. I don't know if this would be energy-based or be firing bullets, and frankly, I don't really care. It's just fun to imagine. And in addition to flesh and blood soldiers, Prometheus military also makes use of robotics when necessary. As you can see, this is a futuristic version of a gunbot, the gunbots being a small infantry robot I showed off maybe a year ago in a separate video. I'll link it below for those of you who haven't seen it. As the years have gone by, the decades have gone by, and Prometheus has continued to advance technologically, the gunbot has obviously been updated and modified to fit with modern standards, and this is where it's currently at. So it's pretty similar to its original design. I believe the head was different. It's got this very, very big gun because it's a robot. It's very strong. And along the back, one small thruster to allow it to fly. So that's the gunbot. We'll get that out of the way. And you'll see this here as well. This is called, they just call it a hound because that's really what it's meant to be. It was really inspired by those kind of Boston Dynamics robots that you see running around on Instagram and YouTube. It's just a robot dog. It's just meant to serve as a little bit of a scout, maybe a small companion to a soldier who is on a scouting mission. It's not really intended for heavy combat. It's more intended for reconnaissance, although down here you'll see it has one small little firing weapon, and that is mostly for self-defense. And the last thing I want to show off in this video is this Phalanx mech suit. A lot of you will remember the Phalanx mech suit from about a year ago. I showed off the original design, and this is still the original design. Much like the 1911 pistol in our world, the Phalanx mech suit was, it was invented quite a long time ago, but in this day and age it's still very effective, and they haven't really needed to update the design very much, so the Prometheus army keeps it around. They keep using it because it's just such a good design for them. They haven't had to replace it or really even update it that much. We'll just do a little quick 360. I believe that's the only thing that's changed. I think that was just a tile the first time. And the pilot is still sat in there the same way with a two-part cockpit that opens. And yeah, the Phalanx, you know, it's not super fancy. It's just a very, very heavy, very sturdy, very durable, small little mech suit that can take a lot of punishment. And, you know, it's got its little repeating minigun there, so it can give some punishment back. And yeah, it's just still doing good work for Prometheus, so they keep it around. Alright guys, until next time, that's just a very, very brief overview of my Prometheus Infantry. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of all of these guys. I've been M1NDxBEND3R, and I'll talk to you later.